Hi everybody, it's David Johnson with Keller Williams and the Dakota Carson Realty Group in Springfield, Missouri. Today we're coming to you and talking about basement homes and understanding basement homes. A lot of people just say, hey, I want a basement home, and they really don't understand all the lingo around it, what they do, positive and negative. So let's just kind of dive into that. So if you are looking for a basement home, you understand what's going on. First and foremost, what is a basement home? A basement home is, it has a cavity under the house that is a structure dug out, under the house. It can also extend out beyond the house. Typically here in Missouri, they are under the house. Concrete foundations typically. Older ones can be block. Not a great idea because they typically will leak. So you can have half basements, full basements. Ones that walk out to the backyard, especially if you're on a hill, it's easy to have a walkout, but if you're on a flat spot, it's just going to be a basement with no walkout. Difficult to do. Some of the lingo that you'll find with basements is, does it have a lift station? Lift stations are, if the ground level is here, and your basement is here, and you have a toilet down here, and your sewer line is up here, you have to figure out how to get this sewage up here. So there's a pump. There's a lack of a better example, there's a trash can in the floor of the basement. All the sewage goes into the trash can. A pump will pump it up and over the top into your sewer line. It'll run down this, run gravity fed down to your regular sewer. So that's a lift station. Can also be a sump pump. A sump pump, 9 times out of 10, they are definitely in the foundation, depending on how they're installed. Sometimes there's pipe under your foundation. Sometimes there's a leach field running towards it, but it's basically to where the water will not come up under your slab and your basement and come through your floor. The water is going to come up and come into that pump area, and it's going to pump it out either into your lift station or into some other draining type unit, maybe outside the back of the house if it's a walkout. If it's not a walkout, it's got to go up somehow. So that's kind of the main ones. There's also one other thing is egress. Egress meaning there has to be a way out. In the egress window, typically the newer ones are large enough for you to get out. I don't know the exact dimensions, and it may vary from state to state or location to location. So egress just makes sure you can get out of the basement. So looking at some of the positive aspects of having a basement home, for us here in Missouri, we have quite a few more tornadoes. So a tornado shelter is probably one of the main things that people like. Get down in the basement, and if you don't have an actual tornado shelter in the basement, you can get under the stairs, in a corner, up in it, in the most least likely place for the tornado to hit. So tornado shelter is probably one of the most sought after. The other thing is in the summer, it's really nice down there, nice and cool. You really don't have to heat your whole house upstairs. It's just a nice environment to go down there, hang out with family, and it's just got that radiant, cool heat off the walls and the floors. That being said, dramatically saves you money on your utilities because you're not having to cool that space. That radiant energy coming from the ground is just naturally cooling that space. A lot of times the basement is a separate living area. In all the basement homes that I've owned, I always like my upstairs of my house to look really, really nice, and it's really, hey, people come in and go, man, your house looks so good. And you go downstairs and my basement's a train wreck from my 2 boys and everything that's going on down there. It's awesome for that because people really think that your house is super clean, and sometimes it's not. So, but you can also, you can entertain down there, you can have anything going down in the basement, and if you want to have something going on upstairs, totally separate living area. It's really nice to have. And if you buy a house that doesn't have one that's finished, really, really simple, easy to build it out, fur it out, and add square footage to the home and add a lot of value. So it's very cheap to build them out. especially if you can get a good buy on an unfinished basement. So looking over the negative aspects of basement, a lot of our business we do with older people or somebody that has some kind of difficulty going up and down stairs, and they can't handle stairs anymore. So stairs can definitely be a negative aspect of a basement, just the up and down every day. And then in the winter, they can be extremely cold if they're not insulated. It's kind of a catch-22 because I like my basement cold in the summer. Therefore, I want either tile or stone floors and not a whole lot of insulation in the walls. But then in the winter, that turns into being very, very cold. So you got to get a balance of where you want to be, because if you insulate it a ton and put carpet down, now you're going to have to heat it and cool it, because you're not going to get a ton of that radiant energy out of it in the summer. So just depends on where you want to be for that. And in some of the older homes, the ceilings are much, much lower. Lighting's not good. You got the HVAC trunks running up and down, so it will tend to feel a little bit like a cave. Won't have the greatest ventilation, so it may be a little musty down there. All these things can be fixed, no problems. It's just a matter of, do you like it, do you not? Do you want more modern? Have to move up. It increases your price. So, speaking of musty, basements leaking water. I want to explain how that works. Most people really don't understand how basements leak. I'm a civil engineer. I used to go out on jobs all the time and look at houses that were leaking water, and it's really, really easy to go out and just investigate it and see what's going on. The high percentage of them, if you get your downspouts and your gutters working right, it's going to fix the problem. Secondly, is your water running back to the house and leaning up against the house, or is it running away from the house? If it's running to the house, you need to put a little dirt up there and get it skiffing away. Once you have that going on, your downspouts, it's really difficult for the water to get back to your house and down the walls. And then you come in, if water does get to the walls and it does get down there, what does your drainage system look like, and where is it draining to? I think, if I had to, if I had to guess, a very high percentage of my clients don't understand how a drainage system works. So typically, you'll have the wall of your basement, and you'll have the footing, and you'll have right up against the wall will be all clean gravel, meaning no dirt, it's just rocks. So if water gets in it, it's going to run straight to the bottom. Then at the bottom of the footing, down below the finished floor of your basement, you're going to have a drainage pipe. So that water is going to run straight down the wall real quick, right into the perforated pipe, and then it runs out somewhere. And that's the big thing. 90% of people have no idea where those pipes are at. No idea where they're draining to. So what happens, water comes down, fills up the pipe, can't get out, and it's going to find a way in your house. So it's not a matter of, do your walls have cracks and is it going to find its way in? If it doesn't get it, if the water doesn't find its way out, it will get into your house. Concrete's going to crack, concrete moves, the soil heaves and swells, and it's a part of life. Not a big deal, happens to everything. Just make sure your drainage system's working well and you won't have a problem. Have somebody come out and dig around. Typically it'll come out on a walkout. It will come out the sides of the wing walls. If it's a true basement with no walkout, those drains will dump into the sump pump, and the sump pump will pump it up and out. So do a little experiment, check it out, see what's going on, investigate it. Really easy to solve. If not, call a great realtor like myself at Dakota Carson Realty Group, 761-4332, or go to our website at dakotacarsonrealtygroup.com. Thanks and have a great day.